It's great to be back. Feels like, actually kind of feels like we were just here. So the season came around pretty quickly, but you know, it kind of was what it was. There was some good, there was some bad. You know, we made plays when we had to. Our defense was good in spurts. It wasn't good. Our offense was good in spurts. It wasn't good. I tried a ton of different combinations tonight, and just to see, you know, what worked, what I liked. You know, even just trying to figure out now with more depth in the guard spot and how those combinations go. You know, we haven't had a lot of that in the past. But overall, the game served its purpose. We learned some things. Well, we have good film now, and we can keep getting better and prepare for Florida State.
Questions for student athletes. Go ahead and raise your hand and we'll get you a mic.
Gretchen, Coach has just sort of talked about the offseason that you've had and how much he's emphasized you know, being such a significant factor off the bench. Just what can this game do for you to start out, and what were you trying to bring to the team coming off the bench tonight?
Just coming off the bench as always, I'm just trying to provide a spark. You know, I think being on the bench, you're able to watch and see what the other team is, what they're running offensively and how they're guarding for the first few minutes. So going in and just trying to do whatever you can to provide that spark.
Kendall, I think Shauna on radio said your 15-foot jumper is like a layup right now. I guess, where does that confidence come from, and how's your jumper developed this offseason?
I mean, just getting reps. I've been working with Coach Kat and our GA Nick quite a bit for like workouts in the mornings, and we do a lot of like just 15-foot like off the backboard, pick and pops, like kind of working more on getting that shot in motion instead of catch and shoot, and I think that's also helped a lot because the pick and pop, especially with Cook, is there a lot, and teams are starting to like scoot over a little bit and help. So just being able to kind of get that and just be confident and get a lot of reps in it. I mean, it's really just kind of come from reps and working with it in practice.
Gretchen, what did you learn from last year, and where's your confidence or your comfort, I guess is probably a better word, in terms of where you fit in scoring-wise on this team?
Yeah, I learned a ton from freshman year to sophomore year. I think the biggest thing is probably on the defensive side. You know, just a lot more comfortable in that aspect, because coming in from high school, there's just a lot of unknown things that you step into and you don't know what to expect. So now I'm just, you know, a lot more confident, and I feel like just more in a groove naturally, you know, because I know what to expect, I know where to be, and like things like that. So.
Gretchen, you had a play there where you know, had a backdoor pass to Barry there for a layup. I mean, how much too are you just trying to, you know, facilitate too as well, not when your shot's falling, you know, sort of be that other factor to the game as well?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think a ton. You know, I'm always trying to have my eyes up, looking for my teammates. I did have way too many turnovers today, but yeah, just especially on the break too, it's harder for the other team to get matched up, so always looking ahead.
And two, what does it do for you that you have a coach that's just continuing to emphasize shoot the ball, and what does that kind of do for your confidence-wise as you go into this season?
Just a ton. You know, I know that other coaches that I've heard, like, they're not like that. And ever since I've come in here, like, that's all Coach Green has been telling me, you know, be aggressive, shoot the ball when you're open. You know, so just not forcing stuff, but it just gives me a ton of confidence to just be myself and go out there and play my game.
Kendall, how did you kind of, I don't know if reinvent or refine your ability to step out last year and shoot, but like, what was the process for you of being comfortable in doing that again, and how do you feel like that can kind of enhance the rest of your game?
Yeah, I mean, just the coaches having confidence in me, really. I mean, my freshman year, that was kind of my job, was to shoot threes, and then coming to Illinois, I just kind of lost it a little bit. So really just getting the reps in with like Coach Kat and like getting game-like reps, that's the thing. So like working like the pick and pops, working in transition, but just their confidence. Like Coach Green just tells me to shoot it, and I'm like, you want me to shoot that? Like, and she's like, yes, like you've been getting reps. So just, I think the confidence, and then in terms of enhancing the game, it pulls people out. So they do have to guard me out there, which opens up the lane for our point guards, for our wings, for Bryn if she has a mismatch and can post up. So I think it just expands us as a group, and it just gives us one more opportunity to like attack in our offense.
Kendall, you and Dale were two of the holdovers from the previous staff, and then obviously you have some transfers come in. What's maybe made this senior group come together like it has and coming into this season this year?
I think just playing together. I mean, we've played together a lot, the past couple seasons, and just bringing everybody along. And we know the program, we know the philosophy, we know the mindset, and just getting those reps in practice, those reps in games. And, it's for the starting group, it's all of our last years. And so I think that collectively already brings us together a little bit. It's because, we go out there each game, this is the last time we're going to play this team. This is it. This was our last exhibition game that we're ever going to play. And so I think everyone kind of having that in their mind is like, there's no opportunity for us to just kind of be lazy one game. Like, we have to win everything we can.
Along those lines, Kendall, with all the veterans, have you taken the time to talk about and think about the big picture and what you want to accomplish this season?
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about it a little bit, but overall, I think, as a group, we want to take it game by game, just go 1-0, and do the best we can each opportunity. Obviously, we want our biggest goal is to make the NCAA. The WBIT was great last year, especially since we won it. But our goal is to make NCAAs this year. I mean, that's this senior group. We're super capable of that, and that's kind of what we want.
Kendall, what have you seen from sophomore Gretchen Dolan at this point?
A lot of confidence. I don't know what happened over the summer break. I don't know what she did, where she went, what she ate, but she came back and, is driving downhill and barreling through people, being confident on the attack. And I think that's something she really, really added. Last year, every time she'd shoot it, I'd just run back because I know it's going in. But her being able to add that driving and the confidence she has with it, it's going to force people to actually get out and guard her now. And so I'm really proud of her to see that development, especially as big of a development as it is. And it just helps our team overall. It helps us expand the floor and gives us one more threat downhill.
Kendall, Jen talked about before last season, you basically kind of had a conversation among the three seniors about you intended to come back for the 5th year.
Mm-hmm.
Just what were those conversations like, and was it sort of that led to that, and I guess how good was that to have that kind of out of the way, knowing ahead of time that was already been decided?
Yeah, overall, we all had talked about it, we all knew. I think I was a little more private with it than others were, just because I didn't really want that, I didn't want that on the plate during the season. I wanted to just be able to play, relax, have fun. But yeah, just knowing that, I'm having my 2 point guards that I play really well with, coming back was just kind of a confidence thing for me. It's I can relax, I know who I'm going to be with this year. So yeah.
Back at the 5, obviously more now with Letty gone. What's it take to be a little undersized at that, but still have success in the Big Ten?
Yeah, I think just doing what I do, not trying to do anything that I'm not comfortable with, and my hook shot in the middle, rebounding, crashing hard, using my quickness. Now I have more of a 3-point face-up game. So just being able to use that to my advantage, and there's times I can only do so much, but knowing my teammates are on, the help line, or if I'm fronting, and we've talked about a lot of that, coverage-wise, there'll be different things, but, I think it's just my mindset. I go into each game knowing I am undersized, but there's things I bring to the table that other 5 player can't guard, and just doing that each game.
Kendall, just kind of going through last season with heightened expectations and kind of having the same position you guys are in this team this year, how much maybe can last year the lessons that you went through as a team kind of prepare you for this year and what you kind of anticipate coming along the line?
I think they prepared us really well, especially since we have a majority of we're a veteran group, so it's not we transferred everyone out that learned those lessons. So, and I think we take a lot of it from the tournament too. That was some of the best basketball we've played as a group, but we can't wait till that late in the season to play that kind of basketball. And so, knowing as a group of starters, we don't have the best track record for starts, and so that's on us to get ourselves together, and we have to have better starts. And so that's something we really learned last season. There were multiple games we dug ourselves holes in the first quarter, and then we're just clawing our way back, and then we lose by 3. And it's if we would have just done a couple more things in the first quarter, we wouldn't be here right now. So just kind of taking all of those and just kind of keeping that in the back of your mind at the start of games, or certain things like that. But just being aware of everything from last year and making sure we have an effort to change it this year.
Gretchen, Kendall said she didn't know what you did in the summer month. What did you do to add that or be more confident in that in your game?
I don't really think I did anything different per se. You know, I was working out all summer and I was
She
just
got in the weight room.
and you know, I was just more conscious of everything, like the weight room, my nutrition, just because I'm more aware of everything. Like I was in college for 1 year, so like I said earlier, like I know what to expect. You know, I know what feels right with my body, like what doesn't, and just continuing to get that skill development has been huge, like with my coaches and just always being in the gym, getting extra shots up.
All right, questions for Coach Green? Go ahead and raise your hand and we'll get you on mic.
Shauna, just what's it been like to see this version of Gretchen? And was there a moment maybe during the off season where you sensed something was kind of building up this way? I know you talked about an injury that she was kind of dealing with and kind of recovering from that, but was there a moment when you kind of sensed this was coming along the way?
I thought really once she got back this summer, just every day just continued just to be what I knew she could be, what I saw, you know, in high school from the scoring perspective, but obviously she's better now. And just confidence. I think a lot of it, freshman year is hard, and you know, like every day she just didn't know what, you know, you don't know what's gonna happen every day. You don't know what it feels like to be on a road game. And it's just like there's so much, and I think a lot about Gretchen is just confidence and a groove. And I also agree with her. The weight room, you know, she's gotten stronger. She's in really good condition. Her nutrition ramped up. All those things matter. She's moving at an elite level right now. I mean, you see her, she's agile, she can defend, she's sitting down in the stance and guarding. So I think it's a combination of everything. And she's been in the gym, she works her butt off. But she's playing with a ton of confidence, and it's really fun to see.
Just another question about the 5 spot. We saw you use a lot of different options there, and some very small and some Kendall and Brent. Like, how do you work through that, knowing, like, you have experience obviously being undersized there, but how do you kind of overcome that a little bit?
Yeah, it kind of goes back to more so like our first year here, right? Where KB was playing, you know, 38 and we could put Gio in for a minute or two, but we really didn't have any other 5s. At least Bryn now is in you know, it was at her first year. Like, she understands, so she can play some 5. I mean, against smaller teams, I played Shay a lot at 5 tonight. But then there's going to be teams in this league that we just can't do that. So then KB's going to have to, and obviously tonight's not a good. They pretty much played 5 out, so it's a hard game for Haven to get her minutes because I mean they're small. So you know, just that's why you saw a million lineups tonight, just trying to see what works, how it looks. So we're gonna have to try a lot of different things. But I just go back to we had success with it our first year. The Big Ten, you know, you have your few big kids, and obviously the LA schools, they both have big kids, and then you have, you know, our Markowski, but at least you don't have Holmes anymore. You got rid of some of them. We're just gonna have to game plan and have a little bit different prep against some of those true on the block post-up kids.
Yeah, a lot of different lineups, but also some long stretches with the starters. Why was that important, you think, and what do you take away from it?
Yeah, I mean, we got to get them into a groove, right? I know they're veteran, I know, but we haven't played a game in a while, so just wanted to see them out there all together and get them defending better together. And then just putting, you know, there's times I put a lot of new kids on the floor together, then I try to put just 1 or 2 with the core group. So again, it's different for me, you know, because we have a lot of options, and I thought a lot of people I thought our bench was great. I really thought our bench was great, and I thought they all did a lot of really good things. So it's gonna be a work in progress, you know. Thursday's against a really good team, but I'm still gonna have to try some different things, and a lot of it's gonna come that night. Who's guarding? Who's gonna be able to keep people in front of them, especially a team like a Florida State. So still a lot of learning to do with this group.
There's a lot more depth in this group as opposed to maybe 6-7 man rotations last season. I guess, what does that do for you moving forward and being able to mix and match against teams like Florida State, Oregon State?
Yeah, I got to go back a few years to remember what it's like to have it. I mean, we have not had it in my 2 years here, and it's what I'm used to. In my Dayton teams, our bench was great, and we had a good solid 10 to 12 that we could play, you know, anyone. So we're getting there. But now we just got to see the right combos. But I think it's going to help us. I think, we're going to be able to be fresher. We're going to, if foul trouble comes, we're going to be able to have some answers for that. And now, Jen and Makaira don't have to log 40 minutes a game. It's going to help them, I think, be better players as well.
I don't know how much more to say about Kendall, but like that consistency, it's been literally since you got here, she's been kind of doing the same thing every night. What does that allow for you as a coach when you know you can kind of write her in for X and X?
You don't have enough time for me to sit up here and say, like, to coach, she's exactly like a dream, right? You're gonna get your rebounds, you're gonna get, she's 7 for 9, 2 for 2 from 3, 6 for 7 from the free throw line, 8 rebounds, 22 points, 0 turnovers. I don't know how many blocks, so it's like, we talk about being consistent, being an everyday woman, every day showing up, doing your work, and she does that, and she's consistent in everything. It's a huge benefit.
Just also to see her invest in expanding her game like she has, what's that kind of been like to see, and not only the mid-range that you talked about, but the three-point range that she showed today?
Yeah, she's bought into what we wanted, and she's put the work in herself. When we're at our best, really ideally, especially when we're undersized, we want all 5 people on the floor to be able to shoot the 3. Now, if you have a true, like a Letty who's 6'7", like, okay, 15 feet, but maybe you don't have to shoot the 3. But when you're undersized like that, in our system, we want 1 through 5 to be able to shoot the 3. And like I say this all the time, 2 years ago she shot 0%. Last year she shot 41% from 3. That's an unheard of, increase. So 0 to 41, I think it's she bought in and then she put the work in. It's very simple, and I'm really proud of her, and she's shooting it well, and she's confident shooting it. So we just gotta keep. I'm not gonna say anything to her. I just gotta keep her where she's at right now and keep her confident. I can't mess it up.
What do you think about Jasmine, and what do you like about what her and Adalia can do defensively at that wing spot?
Yeah, Jazz was, she's still trying to figure out our defensive principles, but she works so hard and she's so quick. Sometimes she's almost so quick she gets herself out of position, and she plays really hard. So today she had 9 points. She had 19 points off the bench in our scrimmage, against an SEC team. So she's capable of scoring it, and she's able to defend. So we have Dallas kind of our defender. Now we have someone else that I can put in and give maybe Dallas and or put them both in there together to really build a lockdown. And Jazz the other day, she didn't tonight, but she hit a few threes the other night too. So I'm really excited about Jazz, and she continues. She wants to be great, and how much she's invested in the gym, in the film room, working on her mindset with our sports psychologist. This kid is all in, and she's doing everything that she can control. She is putting the work in, and those type of kids you want to be successful, and those type of kids that are going to be successful because of what she's doing. It's the holistic approach with her. She's really attacking.
Picked up a top 65 recruit a few hours before tip. I guess, where do you think staying with the class of 2025, especially with 4 or 5 seniors on the team?
Obviously I've talked about this 25 class for the last, year or so, that it's a really big class, and we need a lot of players. We're losing 5, veterans that produce a lot of points. But I'm really happy with how it's shaping up, and we're doing the best we can. I don't know how many times. We have how many top 100 kids, and we're just going to keep recruiting. That's all you do. You keep recruiting, keep building those relationships, and got one more coming, and could have another. We need another one, so that could be down the line, or it could be addressed in the transfer portal if we don't, which we probably will have a transfer because we need some experience. Or I'm really going to be going crazy with 5 freshmen.
A big prospect from last year, Barry Wallace, got 14 minutes. What did you see from her, and do you think she can be a big part of that bench unit?
Yeah, she will be. Yeah, I saw a freshman that was nervous, and that's normal, Jasmine's played in the SEC. She's played in big games, even though she didn't play a ton. and she was nervous, but Barry and our freshmen, I mean, it's hard, so that's why these games are so good. She's gonna be fine. She had 4 points, only 1 turnover. I mean, she's getting better defensively. You just it's like what Gretchen said. You just don't know that freshman year. So, defense is the biggest learning curve, all of our freshmen, and it's the biggest thing that, I'll continue to talk to Barry about and all of our other new guys. You got to be able to defend, but I'm super happy with Barry and where she's at and what she brings to us, and she's going to be a big, big key for us this year.
Has Adalia graduated from X Factor to just maybe what you're getting with her? And she took a couple threes tonight as well. Like, do you like her taking those and being confident in those?
Yeah, because I mean, I like her taking them right now because she's making them, and I see again. I know the work she's put in. There came a time last year when I didn't want her taking them because they weren't going in. But right now, I see them going in practice all the time. So I want her to take them, and she has to. She has to take them now to get confidence, because when she hits that, now people can't sag off. And she is, I'm telling you guys, she's been shooting lights out from 3 and really this whole summer and this whole preseason. So I'm totally fine with that. And, I still think I know what I'm going to get from her now, but I still think she's our X Factor just because she does so much for us and we just feed off of her. So she'll always be my X Factor.
All right, thank you.